I'm Carolyn Ray, okay? The law enforcement all on the Ryan Airport is right within the city limits of Baton Rouge?
I'm not familiar with where the where that facility is. Is that where it's going to be?
That's what they say.
Is that okay?
That's the only thing they really specify in the proposal.
That may be right inside the city limits. If it's close to being outside, I know. But that's the other thing, and that kind of jogged my memory. The juvenile justice facility, they don't have a spot.
They don't have a location for it. They don't really locate the parish prison on the proposal. They do locate only the law enforcement section, really, and it seems to me like one of the issues with me is that the headquarters of the Baton Rouge Police Department should be where our seat of government is, which is downtown. And don't tell me they can't communicate, because they can communicate with the spaceship, so they can sure get the environment. And I also have one other question. I've read about this River West development and the Hollywood Casino that built the underpass under the rails for a 4-lane highway, is what the newspaper said. The property that they were talking about using for Live is right next to the River West and that Hollywood Casino. Who owns River West in reality? Does anybody know that?
Tell him by the name of Clement.
Does he own it? It said he was a principal.
He's the developer.
He's a developer, that's what I think.
Right, but going back to that underpass, I want to just be fair. The city, from what I understand, the city would have access to that underpass because it would be a public right-of-way.
But
so
why?
I don't think you would need
Wasn't it mentioned in the council meeting that once it was built and developed, the city's going to take over maintenance on it?
Yeah, and well, I picked that location for this line. That's way on the other side of town.
Especially if we build alive, then we'll definitely be.
Well, I will point out one thing. You were talking about lack of interest in what the public wanted. A private enterprise, if this is really a good thing, Alive, why not let a private enterprise do it? Because then that private enterprise would be interested in making a profit instead of losing money. Anytime something is funded by the government, there's no effort really to keep cost in line. We all know that. I mean, it's totally out of control. They don't have to make, this organization doesn't have to make a profit. They can lose money and we'll have to pay it.
Right. That brings us up a couple of topics. You know, when you have something that's entirely done by a government, you lose accountability from administration to administration. Whoever comes in after Mayor Holden can say, well, Alive, that's not really my fault. That was, I can't be held responsible for that. So you lose accountability, just like we've seen with the police headquarters now. That building could have been maintained, but it wasn't. So you see that you lose accountability. Now, going back to Alive and private investment, the lack of private investment, I can see something like Alive being built on the riverfront. I think it would be a good idea to have something like that be an economic driver for Baton Rouge. But it's a risky investment, like we said, whenever it's all done by public money. So, my question is, and I haven't heard it answered yet, was there even an attempt to get private investment in there? There's different things that we could have done. The state is donating the land to us. I wouldn't have had a problem with the state leasing the land to a private company and just letting them do it. That would be a great incentive to bring in private investment. We're building hotels, or we built a couple of hotels around this city with TIFs, tax incremental financing. Why couldn't something like that be used to give private investment an incentive to come in, build the facility, and not have the taxpayers be on the hook for it?
Well, Mayor Holden himself made a comment that there was money from the state to help develop new business. Why not tap that and have help encourage a new business to build Alive if anybody thinks we're losing
Well, and actually, I'll give you the one of the mayor's responses to it. Something that he said, or I don't know if it may have been Mike Futrell that said it, but they want this to be an inexpensive facility for the people of Baton Rouge to go in and use. Now, their ticket projection for this has been anywhere from right at $20 to right at $25. I called the Tennessee Aquarium, just curious as to what their ticket prices were. It was like $18.50. Private investment is doing it cheaper than government. What do you know? And the other thing is, and they also, Mr. Futrell also said that he wanted the public to be able to use the free parts of the facility. They're talking about doing an amphitheater and that sort of thing. Well, part of the infrastructure that the Chattanooga built when they did their Tennessee Aquarium was a part that people got to go use. So that's the model that we need to be following, I think, and it's not. And that's why we're encouraging you to vote no on November 14th.